Welcome to Game Corp, a bi-weekly podcast where we reach into the imagosphere and pull out the next great video game idea. I am the CEO of Game Corp, Bryce.
And I'm the CEO of Game Corp, Beckers.
Last time on this podcast, we made Oh No, Doctor Is Me. How'd that do?
I'm like 100% sure that's not what it was called.
Well, what was it called?
Oops, I'm a doctor.
That's better.
Way better. So here's how it did. It didn't do good. And that is because the plot didn't make sense. Nobody could understand why such a successful call center technician would throw away his career to go to medical school. It's like LeBron James not playing basketball anymore. It didn't make any sense.
I was looking at the documentation, the business notes that we have, and I looked at the next sentence in it, and I'm like, what? Why is that there? And then I remembered that was a thing I'm supposed to say right now, and now I'm about to say it. Dear listener, did you know video game trees aren't real? It's true. Send video game ideas in because video game trees aren't real and we need video games. Send them hashtag GameMateCorp on Twitter. Thank you.
Boo. Boo.
I saw the words, did you know video game trees aren't real? And I was like, is that an idea? Why did I type that? What was that? And apparently it was my explaining to people to send in game ideas. Okay. You know how back in the old days, we would always end on our best game idea? That would be the one that we go with.
Yeah, we're going to do that today again.
No, actually, this time it's the first one that's going to be the one, and the rest of it's just filler. So
yeah, okay. We'll see about that. I'm feeling pretty good about my last idea. You got to say that early so that they listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. And also the second and third game idea are also great. So
please listen to our good idea. No, anyway. What's your stupid idea?
It's called Finding Love on the Battlefield. Okay. So
sounds dumb.
Thanks. Have you heard of the Fire Emblem video game series?
Yeah.
Have you played the Fire Emblem video game series?
Not as much.
Me either. But I know.
Oh, good.
Here's what I know about Fire Emblem. It's a military game where you're like a tactical game where you're like fighting other people. And also, while you're not fighting, you can romance the people. And that's all I know about it. And also, apparently the yellow one's...
more people.
The yellow one's sexy, I believe, is the thing that I know.
From the art that I see on Twitter, a lot of them are sexy.
Yes, but it seems like the yellow one is the one that will love you in the good ways.
Jesus.
Okay. But I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, why do we need to separate the shooting them with your gun section and the taking them on sweet dates section? They should be the same section. So
section.
Sure. I want to make a game that is a tactics battle game where there's all sorts of troops and you want to shoot them real good, but also at the same time you can also seduce the other battle people so that they want to be on your team, because you can't shoot your girlfriend. That's against the rules of dating. I've asked.
I literally saw you shooting her today. Literally before we started recording.
I was shooting her with love bullets, as maybe it will be a aspect of this game.
That doesn't sound right.
That would be on brand for this podcast.
I want out already. God, we didn't even make it through one idea.
Okay, so obviously you can go and shoot the people, and that's a strategy. But honestly, like, you're just gonna lose people. Like, they're gonna shoot you back, and then you're gonna run out of people, and you can't. Everyone knows the pacifist run of all games is the one where you get the happy ending, and the princess is there, and she actually has the cake. She's not a big liar like Peach. So, when you are in the battle scenario, you can seduce other characters, and there's going to be different like levels of characters. Like, obviously you'll have like the random soldier dudes. I think if you seduce their commanding officer, you get all them. I don't think you can seduce the individual people unless you have like an ultimate thing that you do, like an area of effect that hits them. Because like, if you're trying to romance every random soldier, that's you're not going to win the fight. It's like, I think you can romance every random soldier. It'd just be a real bad strategy. You'll do real bad if you're trying to romance every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the battle.
I'm confused. I thought these battles were not that big.
No, they're real big battles. There's thousands of dudes there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there's different like areas and stuff. There's I'm trying to think. There's a game series, Dynasty Warriors. Have you ever heard of Dynasty Warriors?
No.
Okay. Well, Dynasty Warriors is a deal where there's just thousands of dudes on the battlefield. And you can run around, and basically you can just like take out 20 dudes with one swing, except for the generals, where they're the real hard fight thing. So it's gonna be like that, but a tactics deal, because it's gonna be like you're gonna have turns, you're gonna have the ability to plan out your strategies and stuff, which I think is how Fire Emblem works. But you do get the option to date at any time during the battle, but you do need to make it so it's a good date. So I think you need to like flank the generals in such a way that they're like cordoned off, maybe by the nice cafe that's, on the side of the map, so that, when you instigate a date, then you're in the nice place where you have an increased chance of doing it, because you do have to
doing it.
Yeah, you do have to do the date part well. It's not just you instigate a date and suddenly they're seduced. You do have to like, do it good. You have to date them well. So there'll be different locations around the battlefield that can be date locations. I think you could also do it anywhere. You could just like throw down a picnic, but like, that's not the best
Some of
strategy.
them play hard to get.
Yeah. I think and I think you can maybe do some research and figure out what the different generals are into. Like maybe Mr. Pumpernickel hates the cafe. Maybe you want to swing him over to the museum. Maybe you need to route his troops over to the museum so that you can date Mr. Pumpernickel at the museum.
It adds another element of strategy.
Yeah.
Moving the location.
So, okay. And then if you seduce them, then you add them to your army, and then you can use them.
Your harem.
Sure. You can use
How
them.
many people can you seduce? What happens if you make someone fall in love with you, and then they see you seducing somebody else?
See, I was actually considering this, and I was almost trying to think of like, I think you're controlling different characters. Like you have Samantha, and then Samantha can go after Mr. Pumpernickel and stuff. And I think like different characters might do better with different generals and stuff. That every character is going to have stats, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I was considering, and I wanted to get your feedback on this, that maybe like if Samantha dates Mr. Pumpernickel, they're just together now, and they can fight together. They can shoot people real good. But if they're dating, and Samantha or Mr. Pumpernickel, because you control them both now, they're both part of your army, tries to seduce somebody else, then their partner might go rogue and be an enemy again. So I think you also want to capture enemy forces, and then you could use them to be new dating fodder.
Are any of them down for a harem situation?
Maybe some of them are pan. No, not pan. What is it?
Poly?
Yeah, poly. Well, we'll have all sorts of different. Maybe we're gonna have bi characters. We're gonna have straight characters. We're gonna have gay characters. You got if you're trying to, maybe you're like,
if it's a game about love, you have to open up the options.
Well, yeah, but I don't want it to be just any character can date any character. You do have to learn about them before you just go try and date them.
And if you guess wrong, the results are disastrous.
Oh, maybe
if you hit on somebody and they don't like your type, it's over. Because you walked into a cafe with them with a bouquet of roses, and they brought a bouquet of knives.
I like the idea of maybe there's like a in-game social media, like a Twitter or Facebook or something, or maybe just like an OkCupid for all the characters, and you can like check on their profile and try and like figure out what kind of stuff they'd be into before you go into battle with them. And maybe
you can do your research.
Yeah, and
you can stalk them.
Maybe even like once per day, you can send one character a message. So maybe if you know you're going into
don't waste it on a dick pic. Yeah. Or do.
Maybe I'm sure a dick pic has worked on one person in all of history, but everybody else, it's a bad idea. You have to find that one person. Okay, so we've established we got different characters that you can seduce. They pair up, and then you gotta get new characters. I think I'm thinking if you seduce a general, you get his troops. Like, there's just be like, well, I'm with Samantha now, so I can't be fighting for the Red Lions. We're actually with the Green Turtles now, so...
Green Turtles! Woo!
Okay. So, I'm thinking that okay, hold on. Your generals have stats. Your generals have stats of like, combat ability. Can they shoot real good? Then you also have like sexiness. Maybe they're not real good at shooting a gun, but oh god, are they sexy? They just walk on the field, and some of the soldiers just flip to your team. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But you also, there's a third stat and also a second kind of fodder, because there's obviously troops. There's just, guys with guns, guys with swords and stuff. But there's a different kind of like lower class soldier. They're like wingmen. So they are there to make the date go better. They're not there to fight. If they are anywhere near a combat situation, it's going to go real bad. But you get them to the date, and you're just getting points for that. They're gonna play some sweet. They're gonna DJ it. They're gonna get the vibes going real good. Maybe they're chefs. They're gonna set this stuff up. So whenever you're about to start a fight, you have to pick who's coming. Maybe you roll with a lot of soldiers and set that up, but you're not gonna be able to seduce for shit without some wingmen. So you got to bring those guys in, but that means less soldiers. And
if you are losing the fight, then even if you win the date, you have so much less troops. You want to make it as evenly matched as possible, so that one side doesn't just beat the other, because then you get the least troops out of the deal.
Yeah, and I think like you do need to get the other general to where you want. So maybe you need just enough troops to route them to the museum. I do think so. You should
leave a trail of rose petals on the ground.
Yeah, maybe we can add in some like items that you can bring on. But I do want it to be a point system that like each item has a cost. So when you're about to go into, and like each fight, like lower level fights, you only have so many points you can spend. But like late game, you just got like, okay, I'm bringing the giraffes. Like, name a character. I'm just going to keep saying Mr. Pumpernickel. I need a different name.
Tina.
Okay. Tina loves giraffes. That was a name that you picked.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Pumpernickel,
yes.
You're laughing at Tina.
Yes. Okay. So you've got
Tina is a force of nature. She is a gifted goddess of war.
Okay. You've got soldiers and
she loves giraffes.
You've got soldiers and you've got wingmen. And then your generals have the ability to, or have 4 stats, I think. Combat, sexiness. No, it's
sex appeal.
And then also wingmanness. So maybe they're not very good at being sexy on their own, but they will talk up your guy at a fight at a.
Let's call it bro
date.
status, even for the females.
Okay.
Bro status.
Yeah, so I think that's the 3 stats that every character has.
You said 4 before, so
yes,
you have to come up with another one now. Stink. Just a level of stink.
On one hand, it drives the troops away from an area, but on the other hand, if it's anywhere near the date, you basically just lose it.
Yeah, so if you put it on the opposite end of the date, then it'll drive the troops towards the date, and that'll be awful.
Yeah.
But if you put Stinky Larry too close to the date, then it's over.
Another aspect that I do want. Okay. Once the date starts, I think you basically have a split screen going, where on one part of your screen, the game is now the date, but the rest of the side of the screen, you're still in war mode. So I do think you have to set your soldiers up to protect the date. To literally, like, because if the other the enemy troops see this date going on, they're gonna start, shooting at you. They're like, "Oh, that's the enemy." Before the general switches sides to your side, you do need to protect the date. So you've got this strategy going on of like, okay, I need to get him where I want, but also I need to get him to a position where I can defend during the length of this date. And so you're trying to, you're kind of going like, oh, there's a second wave of troops going on. This souffle needs to get out here. I should have brought a chef. To get this out here quicker. And it's a real good game, and it's got a lot going on. What do you think, Beckers? Love on the battlefield.
I think that's not going to be the game of the day.
It's a good game.
Right. But it's not the game of the day.
Okay.
Are you ready for the next one? Let's try again.
Fine, but admit it, you'd want to play this game.
I'd want to play it.
All right.
And then I'd put it down to play the next game.
Okay, what's the next game?
All right, so backstory. I was branching out. I was looking at news articles about current events, looking for game ideas, and I was like, dude, I can't use any of this. It's all really sad, right? Like, this isn't funny. Why did I think this was a good idea? Well, I've decided that this means that there's an opening in the market. So we're gonna move out into another business venture because this is our podcast and I can do whatever I want. We are gonna open up a news station / newspaper or a news website. Okay. A newsmonger. We have news.
Gotta monger that news.
And we're only gonna report happy news.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I would like to know what is this a game or is this just a thing that we're doing?
It's just a thing. It's not a game. This is real. This is serious.
Okay.
Actually, it's happy.
I'm 90% sure that there has to be like a Twitter account or something that does this.
Why do you gotta rain on my parade? Because I'm doing this.
Okay. What's it called?
Happy news.
Okay.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna report only happy news, and we're gonna take news that it's not happy, and we'll make it happy.
Okay.
We're not gonna lie about it, but we're always gonna talk about the good part.
You know how there's the saying that like no news is good news? Ours is gonna be all news is good news.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly correct. So, for instance, right now, the talk of the town is the coronavirus. COVID-19, or it's been named or whatever. Well, here's the good news. So since it started in China, there's no way it's going to get to Iceland or Madagascar. So whoever started it they're not going to win. They're not very good at Plague Inc. That's the good news.
Wait. So the good news is that a person's bad at video games.
Yeah. Whoever decided to start it in China and then made the symptoms super obvious right away, they obviously don't know how to play Plague Inc.
Welcome to Happy News. Today's top story. Ted sucks at video games. He was trying to play Plague Inc. and he made it way too visible early on. God, Ted's a real punk bitch. That was the top news story on Happy News. Back to you, Beckers.
Yeah. Yeah, Bryce. Isn't that good happy news? Aren't we happy now? I have some more happy news.
I'd love to hear.
Have you heard about how global warming melted all the glaciers?
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Because now there's a lot of sports that are being played on the open ocean instead. Isn't that awesome?
There's sports being played on the open ocean?
Yeah. It's like now we have fencing, but with narwhals. Yep, because there's so much more ocean. Isn't it great? It's way better. Also, we're building Atlantis. Finally. It's about time someone got on that. Aren't you happy?
It's just like you just say a news story and like look at people and be like, one of you is happy, right? We need at least one person to say that they're happy about this before we can move on.
Give me something else. Give me another current event. Let's go. I'm on fire. Just like our oceans. Isn't that great? Now we can roast marshmallows on them.
I hate this. I don't know.
Wow. Well, that's.
I didn't Google current events before this podcast. That was the thing you did.
Well, well, you know.
No, I don't. Please tell me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's do a hard one. Let's say an orphanage burns down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that actually was on the news. I just realized that was real.
I mean, it's got to happen eventually.
It happened somewhere that's not here. So, whatever, right?
Wow. Welcome to the most problematic episode of Corp ever. I know you were thinking.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble right now, dude.
I know you were thinking it couldn't get worse. There's no way they could say anything worse than the things they said in episode whatever.
Give the people what they want. They want to hear that I'm a bad person. So just let them hear it. It's okay. I'm a bad person.
You were going to tell me about how...
my new dog is a rescue.
And by rescue, she means she rescued it from somebody else's house while they were not looking.
Well, they were looking.
That's worse, actually.
Mm-hmm. I also gave blood yesterday, again. So you can't complain about anything I do. You see that spot? That's where they took it. I thought about doing another game that was called Give It Back to Electric Boogaloo, but I couldn't come up with anything.
Good. I wanted... is that the good news? Is that what you were...
Hey, that was hurtful.
I do want to hear you try and make an orphanage burning down good.
Oh, okay. We're back to that.
Yeah, the thing you brought up.
Down. We looked at the wreckage, and we're pretty sure one of them would have been a bad person. This guy was going to be...
What? No! No!
What?
I was fine with the building burning down, but all
you didn't
the kids...
let me finish.
All the kids are fine.
The future... One of the... Okay, well...
Yeah.
One of the kids that died in the fire.
No kids died in the fire.
One of the 18-year-olds that was still there.
No, nobody.
It's not a minor.
It was one of...
Just Bryce doesn't let me do anything.
It turns out that there was gold buried underneath the building that we just now found, and now there's a better building that's being built.
A bigger orphanage.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi and air hockey.
Room for more orphans.
So we better make some. That's the good news about this accident where people died. Now we have more orphans to put in our orphanage.
Why?
Everybody who goes to this orphanage gets a full scholarship.
Why did you do this game idea?
I like it. Can we keep it? I think how painful it is. It's good.
It's out of my hands now. But you know what's in You know what's in our investors' hands? The future of this podcast. And our investors, Aaron C. and Alex Weber, help make this podcast possible. For better or worse, it's all in their hands that the episodes keep coming out. They help contribute to the podcast funds and fiduciaries, financials. Yep, they allow the hosting and the documentation and Becker's just horribleness. It's all funded by our investors, Aaron C. and Alex Weber. Thank you very much for making this possible. If you would like to be an investor, if you listen to this and were like, yeah, that's a thing that I would like to support, you can go to patreon.com/lastgeek to support the podcast and the Last Geek brand on that website. And $5 gets you a shout out on each and every episode of Game Make Corp. That's it. I ended Becker's game idea for her.
But what if? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can move on. I
think we're legally required to, because also none of that was in the podcast. It just went from my game idea to my game idea.
No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Okay, well, this brings us to the next game idea. And it was submitted by Rachel with Cats like a long time ago. I don't know when it was submitted. I'm pretty sure they weren't listening to the podcast or had any idea what things we said on it when they submitted this idea. But they said, you're an autonomous street camera, and you must find a way to observe particular evidence to help the police put away a crime suspect. And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what I like about it? The part where you control street cameras and CCTV. I think that's closed circuit and security cameras.
Closed caption television.
Yep, that's it. And everything else is not included. So,
clown circus time. Verily.
So this is a game where you you have access to every security camera in a medium-sized city. So one's outside street businesses, one's on street light cameras, other places where you would find security cameras. You got access to all of them. And your goal, I think you can maybe, the ones that can move, there's cameras that are just bolted down and they're not going anywhere. They're just there. Also, you do have access to like Ring doorbells. People got Ring doorbells. You get any security.
I have one.
Yeah, they're going to have access to that. Yeah. Actually, those are kind of vulnerable. You should do some research on that. People get access to every players get access to every security camera, and you have the ability to switch between any camera in the city. And ones that can move around, you can move them around, but most of them you can't. And your goal, I know what you're thinking, Beckers. What are you doing with all these cameras? What are you trying to achieve? You are trying to make a reality TV show.
Oh my God.
So you have to look around all the cameras and make plot lines based on these people. So maybe you follow Billington to work every day, and because like you have been I think you get like a week before it starts, and then after that it's Truman Show-esque. Like it's always running. Actually, no. I think 8 hours a day. It's live TV. It is live TV, so you have to know where they're going to be, but you have to switch between the cameras live, so it goes and you do the switching live. So maybe you get a week before and you can look around, and maybe you go like, oh, it looks like this guy's cheating, and so you like figure out where he's going to be, and then the show clicks on, and then you follow him. Because you know that he usually cheats on Thursdays with his secretary. So, and you know that he's got security cameras in his office and stuff. But you got to have a B plot. Everything has got a B plot. You got to have your main plot and your B plot. So you got to find a second person. And you got to have like a hopeful story. And maybe you can find a way that like, maybe you can follow a secretary, and secretary's like trying to get ahead in work. Maybe her sleeping with Billington is a hopeful story about the struggles of not being able to sleep with your boss.
What?
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Well, you come up with a reality storyline based on random people in a city, and only being able to access security camera footage, not actually being able to follow them everywhere.
Here's what happened. You watch out of a Ring doorbell, and you find Harry Potter.
What?
Yeah.
Is this
way better? You see a kid fighting Dementors, and you're like, "Holy shit! Well, magic is real." Hey, see?
I did say the words reality TV show, correct? I feel like I opened with that.
I don't understand what you mean. What are you getting at?
Okay. So, or maybe you just. Maybe you no. I'm trying to decide if we're gonna allow them some level of interactability. Like maybe you could send a text message or something to try and juice up some fancy storyline, or do you just entirely have to watch? Help me, Beckers. I feel like it's just been me talking about my game ideas, and Becker's
Harry Potter. I added I gave you a lifeline, and you were like, "No, I won't take your really good idea."
Okay, fine, Beckers. What do you do with your reality TV show when they go behind the wall that doesn't have when they do some Harry Potter shit and make the security camera blink out?
Then your reality show is now a conspiracy channel, and you're like, "Ooh, things caught on camera. Ooh, it's real." And then you prove that wizards exist, and then there's chaos, and you did that.
And then you'll have lots of things to put on your show because there's people running around stabbing people because they think they're wizards.
Yeah, or they think that they're not wizards, or they think that they are wizards.
I feel like this is a good idea, but I don't want to talk about it anymore, so I want to hear what you're going to say about whatever this is.
You're ready for...
Do you have a game idea, Backers?
Bees! This is it. Are you ready? Are you ready for bees? You're not ready for bees, but bees are coming anyway. Okay, here's what happened. I saw a thing on Reddit, and I was like, this will work. So this was a story about what would happen. What would happen if you put bees in the little tube that goes to the bank teller at the bank.
Yeah.
And then they open it, and there's bees in the bank.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nuts. So anyways, I'm like, where are the best places to put bees?
And?
That's it. So you play as a beekeeper.
Okay.
And you just want to make mischief.
Okay.
That's it. Where should you put your bees?
I mean, isn't literally the answer anywhere that's not a beekeeper's domicile? If I put bees,
let's get. I think you need to like.
If I put bees in Walmart, it's gonna be crazy. If I put bees at a chocolate shop, it's gonna be crazy. If I put bees in a park, I mean, it'll be less crazy. You can avoid them. You kind of expect bees in a park.
There's already bees in the park. I need you to get creative. Come on.
Bees.
Use your head.
Bees in a bonnet.
Let's start small.
Bonnet. Biscuit.
Let's branch out slightly so that there's the bank teller tubes. Did you know?
Bees in a jelly donut. But it's not jelly. It's honey.
Those aren't Pop Rocks in your jelly. You're getting stung in the mouth. Okay, so here's one. I branched out. So they got the bank teller tubes. You know what else has those tube systems? A lot of hospitals. Bees, tubes, hospitals, all over the hospital. They open a tube, it's bees. I like it. Bees.
Why?
I don't know. Next.
Is that next game idea? Or next
Partner
bees?
with next bees.
I feel like this will be stronger if it's just you are bees and you have to get to these places, because at least it's a challenge. It's not just a guy who has access to buildings and can just shove bees wherever he wants. This
is a game about your creativity.
Okay.
Come up with places to put bees.
So it's like Minecraft but with bees.
Beecraft. No, it's gonna be called bees.
Okay.
Next. You get a partner, a florist.
Okay.
You put the bees to sleep with gas. That's a thing. You can do that.
You fall in love with one of them. It turns out the flowers are dying, and the only way to fix it is that there's a big parade of flowers, and if you steal them...
Can I clarify something?
What?
Did you fall in love with the bee or the florist?
The florist falls in love with the bee. The bee falls in love with the florist. It's...
Okay.
It's the plot of the movie, the Bee Movie.
She's a florist?
She's a florist.
I thought she was a lawyer.
No. Yeah, maybe. No. Yes, I'm pretty sure she's a florist because they find out flowers are like they're running out of. They need honey, or they need flowers for honey. They realize that's the whole thing, and because actually, I'm gonna look into this. It could go either way.
You put the sleeping bees in the flowers. The flowers, they're gonna go to a wedding. It's a wedding between two sovereign rulers. Chaos. The marriage is ruined. Countries are at war. Bees. Next. Acquire. Okay, you do your thing.
Wall on his... I'm going to ASMR it up here.
Oh, please don't.
Wall on his first pollen gathering expedition in New York City, Barry gets lost in the rain and ends up on the balcony of a human florist named Vanessa, played by Renee Zellweger. Upon noticing Barry, Vanessa's boyfriend, Ken, attempts to squash him, but Vanessa gently catches him and releases Barry outside the window, saving his life. Later, they find while Vanessa are walking through the grocery store, Barry is horrified to discover that humans have been stealing and eating bees' honey for centuries. He decides to journey to Honey Farms, which supplies the grocery store with his honey.
That's
blah blah blah.
enough.
Substitute
She's a florist.
colony. I'm trying to. They win the case because the reason you think she's a lawyer is because they do sue the honey companies for using their honey, but then I believe that then causes the loss of flowers. Having lost the trial, Montgomery cryptically warns Barry that a negative shift in the balance of nature is imminent. As it turns out, the sudden, massive stockpile of honey has put every bee out of job, including the vitally important pollen jocks. As a result, without anything to pollinate them, all of the world's plant life slowly begins to die out. Before long, the last remaining flowers on Earth are being stockpiled in Pasadena, California, for what is expected to be the final Tournament of Roses parade. Other things happen in the movie, but it's a movie about a bee and a florist falling in love.
So we could have stopped after you found out she was a florist.
It's a movie about a bee and a florist falling in love, and then
Do you know how
they
many
have to
times
go
I've
seen a bunch of flowers from a parade.
I've seen the copy of the Bee Movie script like pasted places, and this is how often I see it. I know how it starts. By all known laws of nature, bees shouldn't be able to fly. Something like that. That's what it is. That's how it starts.
Have you ever watched it where it's the movie, the entire bee movie, but every time they say the word bee, it goes faster?
It's faster, yeah. Why the bee? Forget it. Next.
I've watched the bee movie unironically. I've just seen it. I watched it with my eyes.
I mean, I saw that first. I mean, everyone watched the Bee Movie seriously the first time.
I imagine there's younger people out there who just know it as a meme. Did I ever see it in theaters? I think there's at least a 17%.
I don't think I saw it in theaters. I don't think I was that nuts to see a movie about bees in theaters.
I think there's a 17% chance that I saw it in theaters.
Okay, next. Acquire a radioactive bee.
Okay. How do you get a radioactive bee?
You radiate it.
Okay. Microwave?
You put bees in the microwave. Eventually, one of them lives, and it's radioactive. You put radioactive bees.
Could you put it next to a radio?
In a nursery at a hospital.
Okay.
Stings all the babies. Now all the babies have superpowers. And now you have a generation of bee-themed superheroes and villains.
Okay. And they are. What kind of powers does a bee if you were stung by a radioactive bee, what would you get? What would you do?
Well, somebody has a big sword out of their butt. I know that already.
Okay.
Somebody else can fly. Basically like Ant-Man and the Wasp, that one.
Okay. Or like the bee. Instead of the wasp. Instead of a wasp, it'd
be the bee.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could call her Biatch.
That seems like a rude thing to call a person.
Yeah, she'll be a villain.
Okay.
It's like Fat Amy. She calls herself that so other people can't call her that. Pitch Perfect? No? Nothing?
Yeah, that's a movie.
Okay. All right. Okay. Beast Boy.
That one's taken, actually.
Oh, dang it. Actually, I'm pretty sure
Yeah?
Bumblebee is a superhero already.
They're a transformer.
What's the name of the chick in Teen Titans?
There's Queen Bee.
Is that her?
DC character plus B. You're going to get Queen Bee. You're going to get, Bumblebee is a fictional character existing in the
It is Bumblebee. See? It's Bumblebee. There's several Bumblebees.
Yep. There's Red Bee, which it looks buck wild.
Ruby.
Yep. Okay. This is a good conversation.
Bee-themed superheroes and villains.
Yep.
Where else should we put bees? Come on. You gotta do one.
I did the one where I said the plot of the Bee movie. What? Anywhere. Bees are not enjoyed. Okay.
I enjoy bees.
When have you ever enjoyed a bee?
I've been thinking.
Yeah? You're going to get rid of all your dogs and replace them with bees?
I might dress her up as a bee for Halloween. Holy shit. This one.
Okay.
She seems like she would wear a bee outfit.
She seems like she's down for whatever.
Yeah. She will be.
What will be must be. Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. We should. Oh, you know what would be a good name for a puppy? Bumblebee. How cute is that? That's cute as a button.
You want to meet my new pet, Bumblebee? No, I don't.
Bumblebee. That's how I talk to my dogs. Where's our puppy? Here's puppy. That's how I talk to him. Bumblebee. Your Bumblebee.
Could this game idea be done?
Can you be done? It was a good one.
Okay.
Buzz off. Dude.
So, finding love on the battlefield. It's a good game.
I hated it.
Then what did you like that makes any sort of a thing that is good? Don't say bees because that was nothing. That was nothing, Beckers. If you try and I would love.
You didn't let it fly. You didn't even let it. By all known laws of nature, bees shouldn't be able to fly. But my game idea could fly. It flew right.
Flies out the window.
Into the world where it's going to spread its wings. So basically what you just said just now is that it should be the game of the day.
It shouldn't.
Okay, well, I think my news game is actually, it's not a game at all. But I think my news station should be it if it makes it into the podcast.
That's the best. That is the weirdest like puppy dog face I've ever seen.
It's because I'm trying to be. Hold on. Just like.
It looked like you were trying not to fart.
I'm trying not to smile. God, what is it with you and farts? God, I just want you to be different about the fart thing. Just don't do that so much. Okay. I can't not because. Okay, hold on. Okay, gotta do it. I just want my game to be in the podcast.
Okay, so the game we're going with is Finding Love on the Battlefield because it's the good one. It's the good one that is actually going to be fun to play and real good. And I could probably the Pulp podcast, if I wanted to, could probably have been us figuring out the names of the different groups. We would come up with all the characters and what they're into. Like, what's obviously Mr. Pumpernickel likes
pumpkins?
Sure, maybe. Actually, maybe he hates pumpkins. Maybe everybody's trying to give him. Maybe you actually have to look into him because you'd think. Like, you ever know when you're playing Pokemon and you're like, oh, that totally looks like a fire. Sudowoodo. If you look at Sudowoodo, you're like, that's a grass type Pokemon, right? No, it's rock. It's like, what? He's a tree. It's like, no.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why he's called Sudowoodo.
Yeah. So it's
because he's not wood.
Yeah. That's why Mr. Pumpernickel hates pumpkins. Because it's a trick.
He's pseudo pumpkino.
Yeah. So
pseudo pumpkino.
You gotta do your research. If you didn't look into them, if you didn't check out, okay.
But you can only research 3 out of the 5 people you're about to fight. So how are you gonna choose?
Yep. Well, I think. Maybe you don't know who will be there. And so you can
You only have 3 minutes to research.
Yeah. So you
can research everybody just a little bit. You can research one person super good. I don't know.
Yep. Or okay. I'm thinking you can spend points. There's the whole point system, and you can spend the points.
He really likes bees.
Maybe you gotta bring bees to the battlefield. Bees on the battlefield. Finding bees on the battlefield.
Can we make this? Can we do bees on the battlefield?
What?
Just compromise.
Just call it bees on the battlefield, but it's exactly the same as the game I've described, except for you can bring bees to the battlefield.
Where there's flowers, there's bees.
Maybe the fourth. Remember where I said there was 4 stats? Maybe the fourth
Instead of stink, it'll be bees. Can the fourth stat be bees?
Sure. 4 stats bees.
Yeah, and somebody who has a lot of bee power can summon bees.
Yep.
And that could be used for anything. You could put them in tubes. you could throw the tubes at the enemy, and it explodes bees all over them.
Or you could just summon bees, and they could just already do their bee things.
Or yeah, you could. Or you could get, if you're a girl, you could get bees, and then you could have the bees dress you up like Cinderella, and then you'd look really good for your date if you have a lot of bee power.
Or you could use the
like
bees.
in Cinderella, instead of mice, it's bees.
Or you could use bees to make honey, and honey is good because
sweet.
Yeah. Or you could do the cool trick where I'm gonna tell the guys out there a real smooth trick they can do. That's what actually works better with sugar. But you find a thing that says honey. You know, you're at a restaurant, you're taking a girl to get food, and you see a thing that's on the table that says honey, and then you grab it and you hand it to the girl and be like, you dropped your name tag because it says honey.
That does work better with sugar packets.
It does work, but yeah.
Because a bottle doesn't look like a name tag.
No, but yeah, sugar works better. Yeah. But maybe they'll think it's so dumb it's endearing.
Yeah, that'll be part of the research if you find out if they like really stupid things. There'll be one.
So bees on the battlefield?
Yep.
Okay. Never say I didn't do anything for you. I feel like this is like the 12th time I've said these words to you. Hashtag get Beckers to Extra Life 2020. This is the game we're going with, Beckers. Do you want to tell people where they can hear from you?
You can call me Beakers now.
I'd prefer not to.
I'll be changing all of my handles to Beakers.
With an S or Z.
It depends what's available.
Okay. You gonna tell handles or just make that joke?
Beakers. If they don't, you know where to find me? You can find me up your butt.
There is somebody.
I'm just saying, like
there is somebody who this is their very first episode.
There's somebody. Okay, fine. Well, isn't like it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Twitch.tv/Dr. Beckers with an S. And someday I'm gonna stream again.
You won't. You can follow.
Yes, I will. Twitter.com/Dr. Beckers with a Z. Or Beakers. I haven't decided if I'm really gonna do that because I might. But I probably won't.
You can follow me on twitter.com/lastgeek. You can follow me at youtube.com/lastgeek, where you can see the video of this podcast where Beckers has tried to make a puppy dog face several times, and it's looked a real goof troop each and every time.
No, please don't.
If somebody could please go on youtube.com/lastgeek, go to this video and GIF all the dumb faces Beckers makes and post it to twitter.com using the hashtag GameMateCorp. That would be great. That would be just fantastic. Maybe you could tag Beckers in it and say, look, this is what your face looks like. Make Beckers a meme 2020.
Okay, that's no.
And twitter.com/lastgeek, youtube.com/lastgeek, facebook.com/lastgeek, Instagram.com/lastgeekplays. I don't know the last time I did that. And twitch.tv/lastgeekplays. October 17th, I'll be doing an Extra Life stream, and Beckers will be there, hopefully. Hashtag get Beckers to Extra Life 2020. This concludes the podcast. Thank you for listening, and remember, have fun.